we hear these terms, revocable trust, irrevocable trust. They sound almost the same. What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable?
So the difference is that one can be changed, the other is set in stone and cannot be changed.
So what are the uses for each?
So the revocable trust is the most common trust. It's referred to many times as a living trust. It means that while you are alive, you maintain control of the trust, so you can make changes to it as many times and as frequently as you'd like over the course of your life while you're living. Now, an irrevocable trust is something that is set in stone. You would set up for some very specific types of situations. I've seen it used, and we often, if there's a child with special needs where we want to allow them to receive any type of aid that they're receiving from an outside source, we don't want them to receive an inheritance and have that be gouged up by this outside source. So we put protections in place through an irrevocable trust. And the beauty of the irrevocable trust is that you no longer have control. You're relinquishing control. So you're no longer the trustee, so you don't manage those funds. You've now assigned somebody else as the trustee to control those funds. So another time when this really becomes a great tool is for asset protection purposes. So I have a client who is a physician, a medical doctor. He came to me, he said, my office is being sued for workplace discrimination or age discrimination, something like that. And he didn't think that anything would come of it, but it was an action being brought against his medical practice. He said, what can I do in the future? Because again, he didn't think this was gonna go anywhere. But he said, in the future, if something really came about, like a medical malpractice issue, how can I protect my assets? He said, my home is my biggest asset. What I said is, what you might want to consider doing is putting your home into an irrevocable trust, meaning you are relinquishing control. You're no longer trustee of your home, okay? It's owned by a trust that you don't control. So what that means is, in the event, and this is what did happen, that the medical practice got sued, the person suing them got a judgment against them for millions of dollars. The attorneys then, for this guy who got the judgment against them, went to do an asset search. They do an asset search, there's no property that they can take a lien against to fulfill this judgment because this home is no longer in my client's name personally. It's in a trust that he doesn't have any control of.
Wow.
So my client ended up with no judgment against him, no lien against his property, and the other 3 doctors in the practice all have liens against their home because they were in their names individually. So that's an example of how an irrevocable trust can really be helpful to create some asset protection.
But just to be clear, he can no longer ever sell his home or rent his home or trust.
Oh, irrevocable trusts can sell homes. They can sell property.
Okay, so then the trust would sell the home. So whoever he designated as a trustee would then sign off.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you're not, it's just you need the involvement of the trustee,
right?
Hopefully who's going to work with you and not against you in doing whatever you want with those assets anyway.
That's right.